So now, Preeti ma'am, as we know, students alike are anxious about academic pressure during lockdown. So how should parents inculcate the creative spirit within the students and motivate them to paint?
To see the world in a grain of sand and a heaven in a wild flower, hold infinity in the palm of your hand and eternity in an hour. Friends, such is the power of the human mind. A very good evening to all the esteemed educators and the panelists, and a very, very warm welcome to all the parents who are here today. At the outset, I would like to congratulate Brainfeed for organizing such a fantastic and innovative competition, especially during a time when students are waiting to showcase their creativity. They want to do something creative. They want to compete in competitions. So congratulations to Brainfeed and congratulations to all the winners, because you all have emerged out of almost 500 plus artists. So you all really stand out, and you all are artists, and you all are budding painters in your own right. So my heartiest congratulations to all of you. Parents, these are anxious times. There's a lot of pressure of studies. Along with that, it's very difficult to find out time, I know for you, to inculcate the creative spirit in the students. But creative expression is integral to our identity as humans, says Gary Tintertoe, and I unquote. Parents, art invites curiosity, it develops perspective, and it also teaches us tolerance of and diversity and to respect differences. Because it is through art that we learn problem solving skills. It teaches us to express ourselves, and it also hones a certain confidence in us. So art definitely is a power of expression. It is the tool to express creativity, so which encourages students to innovate. It parents painting, drawing, or any form of creative art ignites power of creative visualization, where students learn to visualize things. It may be anything in the house, outside the house. It could be something it could be imaginary, it could be some cartoon they've seen, it could be some book they've read. It also sparks in them a very deeper sense of emotional intelligence, and it is a very important channel of communication and, of course, of self-expression. And most importantly, as one of the panelists just mentioned, it teaches them a lot of patience and resilience, and definitely infuses the students a sense of wonder. So when a child draws something, or when he creates something, or when he paints something, for him or her, it's a masterpiece. So the sense of wow, the sense of wonder, inculcates in him a confidence and eggs him on to become better. So it also releases very happy hormones in the child. As as Mr. Mallikarjun had just said, it's the right brain. So the right brain is what makes us happy, what challenges us, and what makes us create and do wonderful things. So we all know that that the process is more important than the product. So parents, let your child draw, let your child just dabble at anything, let him do Googling. Never judge a child, never compare a child. Let's not find faults with the child's creative expression, because every word of praise will boost the child to challenge himself or herself, will egg him on to compete with the better self which he has, and it will also unearth a hidden magical power in every child. So parents, let's use this time very productively. Let us ensure that the child is engaged along with curricular activities, along with the academics which he has to pursue. Also use it to draw something, to paint something, and give him that space, give him that kind of a confidence, give him that kind of an originality to be on his own. We should in fact respect the freedom which they have to create something. We should encourage them to explore and create original pieces, which we all know that originality is the need of the hour. Innovation is the age in which we all are living in. And what better power of expression than painting or drawing? So parents, a request from us, create a little space in your house where your budding Picassos can engage in impromptu drawing, keep papers, keep brushes, crayons, pens, and pencils handy, so that, whenever they get that spark in them, they can just pick it up, doodle their ideas, sketch objects or anything around them. It needn't be perfect. It needn't be, completely to the tune of what they are drawing, but definitely it is their own work. It is something which they have achieved. It is something which will give them such a sense of achievement, such a sense of happiness, and that will even improve their performance in their academics, because when they are happy, when they feel that, oh yes, I can do something, I can draw, I will definitely be able to perform better. I can definitely put in that energy and that imagination and that zest for my academics as well. Help your child in procuring the art supplies. You should keep them within an accessible range. So as and when the child or your feels that, oh, I now want to draw, I don't want to do mathematics, I don't want to do English, can I just pick up the brush and paint something? Of course, go ahead and do it. Maybe that will improve his performance in mathematics. But be prepared for the spills and the mess. So keep all old towels and old rag papers around, so that it could be cleaned up easily. Because I know during pandemic, yes, we also have constraint of space. We need to make sure that, yes, we maintain hygiene standards at home. Another thing, parents, is we need to imbibe a passion for art as a creative as a creative energy, because art is a learning process, and they will become better in it only when they can connect and they can get inspired. So share stories about artists, take them to places where they can, of course, visually, of course, through the virtual world of museums, of folk art, of the different caves. Share stories of famous artists, their struggles, and how they were able to then come up winners. So we have to encourage them to explore. We can give them a lot of other ideas. We can inspire them with what's happening around us. We can give them art materials, which will, of course, help them to express their ideas through different kinds of forms. They could draw a cartoon. They could create their own cartoon book. They could use different colors. It needn't be the standard or the stereotype colors. They can do anything that they want. And most important today, parents, we've got technology at our disposal. So they can also experiment with technology. They can use different tools which are available on the digital sites to learn different things, to draw, to experiment, to explore. And that will not only hone their talent, but will also make them more interested in painting and creative arts. Give them time. Maybe they are too busy the whole day, but the beauty of today's pandemic is that, parents, you're in control of the time. For once, yes, you can sit with your child for an hour or two. You can maybe assist, or you can encourage, or you can even give suggestions to your child that, okay, let's try this out. Okay, you're not able to draw this perfectly, never mind. Can we try something else? Can we go to the garden? Can we go to can we go maybe in the building? Can we just stand on a balcony? Or can I just enter the kitchen and sketch something, draw something? Our entire house is like a studio for them. You can find online resources, which will, of course, really give them a lot of ideas, because you have so many sites which are sharing, which are sharing such beautiful ideas, which are helping us use their tools, so that the children can actually channelize their creativity. So parents, art is a very powerful tool, because it helps them to escape for a bit. It puts them into a mindful zone, and you never know how time passes when they are dabbling at art. Students can reflect and then suffuse themselves, when they say, oh, wow, I did that. Wow, that looks so good. Doesn't it, mom and dad? And you say, of course, because it's your creation. There is anxiety, I know, but along with this anxiety, along with the different constraints which we are all reeling under, we need to give them a little time where they can engage in this productive activity. Because all of us know that art is an outlet to vent out their inner thoughts and emotions, a channel to emote unspoken feelings, parents. Today, all the students are reeling under a lot of emotions. There's a lot of mental stress, there is anxiety, there is uncertainty, there's loneliness, they're away from their peer group. So at this juncture, I think art, painting, and drawing are a solace and a voice of the soul. So parents, please motivate, encourage, and inspire your children to integrate art and painting as part of their daily routine. And give every opportunity to your child to draw, paint, build, shape, mold, anything which will foster and hone his creative skills. Because art nurtures the spirit and calms the mind. Thank you once again, Brainfeed, for inviting me and giving me this opportunity to share my ideas and to be a part of this fantastic endeavor which you have taken up during this pandemic. Thank you once again, and congratulations to all the winners.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for all the positive vibes. And now I request Prakash sir to please share his views about the power of creativity in shaping future leaders.
That's nice. I'm very happy to be here on this evening, that too on the festival occasion. I'm very happy that I have been invited as one of the guest speakers among all these panelists, and I really appreciate the insights of each and every guest of honor who came here and addressed. And I know the anxiety of the students who have got the prizes, because I know that that we are all speaking, and the anxiety of the prize winners would be, when will the prize award ceremony happen? I know that whatever the words that we are going to pronounce may not be ultimately reaching into your mind. So one of the ways that I can say that it will be reaching your mind is by telling some stories. Dear students, I can see you. Are you able to listen a story today? I won't be taking much time. I'll take just 10 minutes time. I'll tell one story and one student. One boy who was living on the planet Earth only for 7 years, who left to the world, who was an artist, and other is a story. So I invite your attention to a story. Dear students, this story you might have already studied, or you might have gone through this story. It might have happened in the real time occasion, I think. I'll tell you. It was on a Saturday, as today. Saturday, you know that all of you, all the students will be having a lot of homeworks. And there may be sometimes projects given by the teachers. One boy, he got a project. And the project is something that is different. On Saturday evening, when he came back to his house, he called Daddy. Daddy, please come here. Yes, what do you want? Daddy, today, being the weekend, I got a wonderful homework. I got a wonderful project. Okay, tell me, what is it? Daddy, the teacher has told me that I should hug. I should embrace 10 people. I should hug 10 people, and I should say to them 3 things. Be patient, trust life, and I love you. These 3 things I should tell them after hugging. I need to do it today. Daddy told, today being Saturday evening, how can we go? Do one thing. Tomorrow we will go to the mall. In the morning itself, we will go to the mall and we will complete the homework. I will help you to complete the homework. The child was eagerly waiting for the homework to complete. Remember, students, the homework is very simple. We have to hug 10 people and we should say the words which I have already told. The child woke up in the morning. He was completely spirited. In the morning. He got ready. He went to Daddy. You see how eager he is, when he is doing a creative work. He went to Daddy and told, Daddy, let us go today. We have to go to the mall and we have to hug 10 people. Then Daddy, he was there looking outside. Boy, is heavy rainfall outside. I think nobody will be there in the mall. We need not go today. But a boy was there insisting. He was telling, Daddy, we have to go today. So the father had no other go. He was driving the car. Remember, it was heavy rain outside. He was driving the car and they went to the mall. They were standing in the mall for 1 hour. And the little boy, he had already completed 9 people. Remember, he had to hug 10 people and he be patient, trust life, and I love you. So he was there waiting for the people to come, and he completed 9 people. Suddenly again the rain started. The daddy was again telling, father then said, now boy, we can go back. Now let us go. Because it is raining very heavily outside. And we will be stuck at somewhere, if we are driving. The boy became very sad because 10 people I should. Now I completed only 9 people. The boy became very sad, but he obeyed the orders of father. He entered into the car. Father was driving the car. When he was driving the car back to home, suddenly the boy told, Daddy, stop the car. Stop the car. The child was there pointing at a house. A small house which is there completely away from other houses. A random house. Daddy, please stop. Please, Daddy. I just want one person to complete my homework. 9 people I have already had. I need one more person. I will go to that house and I complete my homework. He was telling. The father was smiling. So he smiled. He stopped the car. He parked the car. Now, dear students, I invite your attention. The boy came out. The boy came out of the car. He went to the house. He pressed on the calling bell. He rang the bell. And he was waiting there. Again, he rang the bell. Nobody was coming out. He was waiting there. Finally, the door was opened. A lady came out. The lady was looking very sad. What do you want? What can I do for you, boy? The boy was very happy. With a radiant eyes and bright smile on his face, the boy told, Madam, my teacher told me to hug 10 people and I have to tell them, be patient, trust life, and I love you. I have already hugged 9 people. Madam, shall I hug you and pass the message, be patient, trust life, and I love you? The lady, she became emotional. She hugged the boy and she started to cry profusely. Remember, the daddy was there sitting inside a car. Daddy had seen this situation. On seeing the boy with the lady and lady crying, the daddy came out of the car. He went to the lady and asked, Madam, is there any problem? Then she was telling. She invited the father and the child into her house, and she started to say, my husband died only a few days back. I was totally lonely. The loneliness was there troubling me like anything. Out of great sadness, out of great solitude, I decided to end my life. I took the chair and I took the rope and I came to the bedroom. And I was there praying to God. I begged for forgiveness to God for committing this mistake. When I tried to commit suicide, I heard the sound. Somebody was knocking at my door. I stopped. The knocking was there, continued. I came out. I saw your child. When I opened the door, I was not able to believe my eyes. I saw the little child. And he said me, be patient, trust life, and I love you. I understood that it was a message from God. Suddenly I realized I don't want to die anymore. And I have to continue my life. Something productive in my life. So this is what, dear students, this is the creativity of the child. So the creativity can be there then in different way. Your creativity in which way that is going to help others, we don't know. Just to recollect, Edmund Thomas Clint. Edmund Thomas Clint was born in the state of Kerala in 1976. He lived on this planet Earth only for 7 years. He was the only child for his parents, and his father was just a fan of the great actor Clint Eastwood. So he gave a name Clint. So just before, I'm telling you, dear students, you are all artists. Just before Clint was just one year old, his first drawing of perfect circles on his own bedroom, it was found to be greatly attractive. The parents of the boy called Clint, who is from Cochin, who was born in 1976, they were not able to recognize the real genius in him. So they understood, he has an urge. He has an urge to draw. His father was just an accountant. But even though he purchased a lot of books and a lot of colors and gave to him, and they were just best perfect parents for him. So his mother was a lover of nature. He used to go and pass along the road along with his mother. He got a lot of thoughts. And his father, he was a storyteller. His father used to tell the story of Aesop fables, Moby Dick, Robinson Crusoe, all Tolstoy's fables and everything. His father used to say. His father used to say about David, Goliath, everything, Arjuna, and all the stories of Mahabharata and Ramayana. So he got acquainted with one of the painters. And this painter, once, he was asked by his father. This painter was his father's friend. Father asked him, if you don't mind, can you teach my son painting? Then he was telling, why should I teach your son? Because your son is already proficient in painting. He's very good at painting. Just remember, when this boy was just, this is actually incident which happened, I am telling. You can go through the Google. When he was just a 3-year-old, he was diagnosed with kidney trouble. And his belly became just like a balloon. His limbs were there swollen, and he was completely exhausted. All the doctors, told he cannot escape. Remember, at that time, he was a painter. He was just a 3-year-old. And one homeo doctor came and helped him. He came back to life. For the next 2 years, there was no problem. Clint was living with the life filled with all artistic work. And Clint participated in all the competition, in one of the competition which happened in Calicut, where the students below the age of 18 from different parts of the country came, and he got a first prize. Remember, at the age of just 3 or 4 years. And Clint was there. Clint used to ask some questions. In his life, we can see Clint used to ask questions, where do we come from? And where do we go when we die? Or why do we die? All these questions were asked by Clint. Just before, I'll tell you one incident. Just before the 7th birthday, just 1 month before, he was going to celebrate the birthday after 1 month. Just 1 month before, he got a brief illness and he died. Clint died by the age of 7. Just before his death, he told his mummy, he whispered to mummy's ears, "Mummy, it's nothing, mummy. Sometimes I may suddenly fall asleep. I may not wake up when you call me. But you just understand that I am just sleeping. Please don't be sad, mummy. Please don't cry." These were the words pronounced by Clint just before his death. And Edmund Thomas Clint, within 7 years, he left the legacy of more than 25,000 paintings. And Clint art exhibitions is very famous in the state of Kerala. Every year they used to conduct. He lived on this planet Earth only just for 2,522 days. But this young master artist, he created more than 25,000 beautiful pictures. And all these pictures show that, there is a deep understanding. There is a deep understanding of body language of birds, animals, and amazing scenery. During 1980s, 1983 was the year that he died. During the 1980s, there is one picture he has drawn, the picture of a car. And during 1980s, you may be understanding there were only Ambassadors and Fiat cars. But he drew one picture of a car which was not at all in tune with the picture of Ambassador and Fiat. But later, after 30 years, those kinds of car came into the market. That much, extra sensory perception Klimt had. If others had done these kinds of paintings, it would have taken a lot of training. But he, being a small boy, did a lot of paintings. My dear students who are there listening to my speech, I am telling you, just to go through the life story, I'll tell you the name of the book. The name of the book that is written on Klimt is A Brief Hour of Beauty. Just to read A Brief Hour of Beauty. It is an entire account of the life of Klimt, who stayed in Cochin for a long time, just for 7 years. The world, the world where he lived, the life he enjoyed, everything is there written in the book, A Brief Hour of Beauty. So that is what I want to give a message to you. So, dear students, what you can understand is creativity is there within every one of you. Make it elaborated, make it always there, getting trained by the teachers. Let all the teachers and the parents inspire them to become good painters in due course of time. M.F. Hussain, how he was, a street dweller who started to paint. And before his death, 100 paintings were there sold out in the market in Mumbai. And each painting, the cost of each painting was 1 crore. And it was purchased by 100 paintings were purchased by one industrialist with 100 crores. And the people were there saying, so do you have foolishness to purchase these much number of paintings? Then that industrialist, he told to the journalist, 100 paintings, 100 crore, I purchased now. But within 1 year, I'll make it as 200 crore. That means he made a gallery and the people started to visit the gallery. And from that, he got the earnings. This is the life. An artist will definitely be there recognized at any point of time. Thank you. Have a nice time. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for this wonderful story.